Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda. My name's Nick Park, and I was looking at some fascinating research last month about killer whales. You know, orca, those big whales which when I was a kid you were brought up to believe they're absolutely terrifying and they would attack people and eat them at the drop of a hat, and it turns out while they can still be dangerous like any large animal, they're not nearly as fearsome as their reputation used to suggest. But killer whales are highly intelligent animals, but a recent study has revealed that there's also significant differences in how their offspring behave depending on whether they are male or female. In fact, not to put too fine a point on it, killer whales are Mammy's boys. Apparently, if a killer whale has a female calf, that calf will stay with the mother. The mother will protect it and look after it and help hunt food for it and everything else. And eventually that female calf, killer whale calf, becomes old enough to reproduce itself, at which point it swims away from the mother, goes off on its own and produces more calves of its own, and so more killer whales keep being born. Now, male calves are totally different. They really are Mammy's boys. In fact, a male killer whale calf will stay with the mother for the rest of the mother's life, as long as it possibly can. It won't go off and lead its own life. It will continue to sponge off its mother forever, or until the mother dies. It might mate with the passing female and then let the passing female clear off, have no role in bringing up the children, and will just stay being looked after by his mother. I know some mothers who say they could probably identify with that, who have had both boys and girls and experienced a bit of a difference. And what this has revealed as well is that when a killer whale gives birth to a male calf, that greatly reduces the chances that it will ever produce any more calves. Why? Because the female killer whale is so busy looking after her male offspring, she doesn't have time to mate anymore and produce more kids. So basically, if you're a female killer whale, you're a killer whale mother, and you have a male child, you have a boy for a child, he's going to ruin your love life and he's going to sponge off you for the rest of your life. Now, what does that have to teach us? Well, thank God people and killer whales are not always the same. But one thing it does clearly show us is that males and females are different. There are clear differences between males and females, and these differences are not just in our heads. They're not just something that's taught to us by a patriarchal society. It's part of nature. There's scientific, biological reasons why males and females are different. Now, those differences between males and females vary from animal to animal and species to species, but they are there. We are different. To recognize that men and women are different is not a stereotype. It's simply recognizing biological fact. Now, we should not turn it into a stereotype. We should not say foolish things like women are incapable of doing this or men are incapable of doing that. That doesn't serve any purpose, and that's not scientific. Neither should we pretend that the things that are perhaps more likely to happen with women or more likely to happen to men are somehow universal. They're not. There's always exceptions. So, for example, it is true that men on average are stronger than women, physically stronger. But that's not true in every case. I have no doubt at all that Katie Taylor, for example, is much stronger and tougher than I am. Just because I'm a male doesn't make me stronger and tougher in that case. And so we shouldn't be too quick to jump into stereotypes. We shouldn't use this to just insist that all males are the same, all females are the same. But neither should we pretend that differences don't exist. They do exist. Men and women are different. Males and females are different. I say thank God, as a married man, I thank God for that fact. We are different. That's not being politically incorrect. It's being biologically correct, and we should not be afraid to recognize biological fact. God bless you today. Join us again next time for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda.